Well, welcome back to Slovenia and the course here in Tasen, just outside Ljubljana, for this final of the World Cup 1. Very excited on a slalom course that's hosted 2 European Championships as well as 3 World Championships. And we've got an exciting top 10 who are looking for medals in this women's K1 final. Certainly the favourite, reigning world champion Eva Terceli of Slovenia, finished 4th at the European Championships, but will be given a run for her money. European silver medalist last month, Camille Prijon, would appear to be the biggest threat with Brazil's 2-time Olympian Ana Satila, but also the USA's teenage sensation Eva Lebfarth, aiming to make an impression, although Camille Prijon's cousin, Roman, was the quickest in the semi-final, but Bertrand Gutierrez alongside me. The semi-finals now, it's very much a reset.
Yes, exactly, it's a reset. It's a reset if you compare that at the semi-final. So every paddlers will play again for doing the best that they can. So today we have a course with 22 gates on this final with 6 upstream gates. So for a reminder, the upstream gates are red and the downstream are green. So gate number 4, 7, 10, 15, 16 and 21 are red. So it's the upstream game.
Anja Novak, the first to take on the course, one of the 2 Slovenians in the field. Can she get off to a quick start?
There we go.
Well, the penalty statistics show that 16 and 18 have been the most difficult in the women's field. So very much the latter part of the course could decide our medalists.
She's doing great at the moment. In the middle of the gate. She's a bit low right now. Number 10. She didn't use enough the curl.
I guess it's tough when you're first out, you're trying to set the tone, but you don't have a time to think about in terms of how quick you're going to try and do it.
Yes, but you don't think about the time, you just think about the line and trying to push yourself a little bit more every gate. And yeah, the second part, lovely part. It's lovely.
Well, the quickest pace in the semi-final was Roman Prijon at 82.87. You see from the first run, 87.94 from Anja Novak, a wave.
Yeah, it's going to be not enough for the final, I think.
Unless
I'm
there
not sure.
is a catastrophe throughout the field.
Yeah, nothing it's sure actually, 100%, but you can feel a little bit if you compare the time during the semi-final. It's a bit behind, but let's see.
Well, as we say, the time needed to qualify is different from the need to win medals.
Exactly. In general, the time improves, but not every time, you know.
Well, they'd hope after having the experience of the semi-final, hoping to use any little nuggets of information to improve their run, but as Bertrand said, it's not that easy on the live water. Anja Novak at least safely through with not too many expectations, but will certainly be an interested spectator as Marjorie Delassue returns to the water. 22-year-old, 7.19 seconds slower than her compatriot Romain Prigent.
There we go.
But what can she do in the final?
She's heading on number 3. Yeah, good start for her. She's a good paddler. She practiced C1 and K1. She will represent France at the next Olympic Championship in C1. Right now she's in K1.
What is the big difference between the kayak and the canoe?
For the kayak, you are sitting on your boat and you have a paddle with 2 blades, and the C1 you are kneeing on your boat. And you are strapped on your boat as well, and you have a paddle with a simple blade.
So very different technical necessities.
Yes, technical it's quite different. So it's really helpful, you know, when you practice K1, it's helpful to doing some canoe.
There's some transferable skills to improve both the different disciplines.
But it's also really tiring, so could be good for some point,
but over a weekend it could take something out of you that might be the difference between a podium place and missing out.
Yeah. The first part was okay, but the second part it's a little bit behind. She have +2 of penalty as well.
And in the end that's hurt her. Certainly plenty of effort, but not quite the result she would have hoped for, even though a podium spot would have probably been out with her reach. But after the first 2 runs, saddled just in behind Slovenia's Novak. Well, so far going to ranking, Novak 39th in the world compared to Delassou at 59. Will we see an upset?
We can see the touch with our paddle. So if you touch the gate with your body, your paddle, or your boat, +2 seconds.
And at this stage, that's going to make a massive difference.
Yes. But you know, if you are like, sometimes you are really fast and you can touch one gate and still fast, but yeah, it's a penalty, so.
So trying to go for a perfect run. Antonia Oschmutz of Austria, just 19 years of age. She won a European bronze in the K1 team with Nina Rotzschnig and world number 2, Karina Kuhnel, the only Austrian in the field here after the more experienced pair pulled out. She is underway.
Yeah, Austria, it's a really good nation with a lot of young paddlers. So let's see what she will doing.
She looks pretty happy early on, looked like a smile, but maybe her grimace is just a particularly pleasant looking one.
Just a bit behind. She touched as well. Hairline is not too bad, but it's a little bit slow at the moment. She decided to doing spin.
I guess the margin for error is so small, particularly once you're in a final at this high level.
Yeah, maybe her plan was to doing direct, but you know the current change and you have to adapt, like I said before. And so she decided to do spin on this gate.
Just
Paddle
teenager.
back. She's a bit late. And +4 second penalty.
I guess you're saying she's not likely to be sitting on a podium later on.
No, I think it's gonna be not enough. But she know it, but anyway.
Well, as you can see, our current leader, we'll see how much that changes over the 10 paddlers, but no threat from Antonia Oshmots, the world number 61, failing to really give herself a chance. Well, thankfully some fans allowed in. Obviously much reduced than what you would normally see here in a country that very much enjoys their outdoor activities. As we see Aki Yazawa, who will be hoping to make a splash at her home Olympics next year. Can the 28-year-old make a real impression? It certainly was a good run in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
You'd certainly expect her to be in the battle for potential medals.
Yeah, she can. I mean, everyone in this final have a chance, you know.
It's just a case of whether they can take it. Certainly the Japanese paddler will hope to improve on their 20th position at the 2016 Rio Olympics next year.
She's quite good at the moment, the first part. Yeah. Oh, she loses a little bit of balance.
You can see that it's green on the split time, but now certainly interesting what the next split time is going to be.
Yeah, she loses a little bit of time here as well. She decided to spin this gate, number 13.
What's your personal preference when you're paddling in terms of the gate? Do you prefer the spin or?
Well, I mean, spin it's an option, you know, like if you have two tricky gates, and if you have no choice, you can choose to spin, and sometimes it's faster than direct, you know, like it just, you have to think about the line before and decide if spin is faster than direct. But I don't have really preference, but
well, in the end she had a good run, but then just that sticky spot means it's a waving Novak who remains in the relatively comfortable position of current leader, although unlikely to be thinking much of medals, but that could change as we head down the list. But Aki Yazawa coming unstuck. Not even 30 yet, Yazawa, but 12 years older than our next competitor, Evie Lebfarth, and you only have to hear the excitement in Bertrand's voice about her prospects in this sport at just 16 years of age.
Yeah, 16 years old, it's amazing to see one athlete like this at this stage of this competition. So we will see what's happened, but she have a really good potential, and she's doing very well at the moment.
Well, she
heading to number 9 now.
Well, she said in profile that she was told that she used to scream whenever water would splash on her as a kid, and she says she's still having so much fun on the water, and so far having plenty of fun here in Tassen.
She's really impressive. It's really rare to see one athlete young like this, and she's doing well.
I mean, at this point, you'd be expecting to make a splash at under 23 junior, maybe, but to be at this senior level, to be that far ahead.
4 seconds. That's a good run. And she's still very aggressive, and you see, like, she looks like she's not tired. Ah, she touched.
Well, she'll hope that her aggressive speed is going to mean that won't be too harmful, but...
Go, go, go. She's a bit late at the last part. Go, go, go.
So quickly it can change. But she still manages, even with the penalty, to get into top spot and relegating Novak to provisional second.
Still a good run for her, you know, that it's really impressive. She did a mistake, but it's not a big mistake. And
as you said, the aggressive nature of her run meant that even with a penalty, like you said, she actually still had time in her pocket.
Yeah, exactly. She's really physical, you know, like for a girl like this, it's like impressive.
Well, obviously, just at 16 years of age, how difficult is it for athletes to mix top-class sport with their studies? Because she obviously must still be studying for school.
Yeah, depend the nation. You know, like some nation, you have a lot of things, and you can have work, and you can studying and practice your sport. So for some nation, it's easier than the others.
I suppose the States have a very good record of their, particularly college and other things in place to try and promote. But I guess, as you say, it also depends on the sport and how they focus on.
Yeah, probably. But they also need to pay everything as well in USA. So, you know, in France, for example, or in a different place in Europe, you don't have to pay anything. So, something it's easier for some. And you know.
Well, we're at the halfway stage of the final. Evie Liebvarth, understandably a little bit short of breath. She's just come straight out of the water, but what did you think of that run?
I think it was a really good run for me. It felt really solid, and I'm just really happy to put down a solid run in this awesome venue.
Yeah, you've been here training for a month or so now. You must feel like this is a second home for you, do you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I actually spent a lot of time here 2 summers ago too, so it's really one of my favorite places in the world, so I'm really lucky to be able to be here.
All right, 5 paddlers to go. Keep your fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Well, at the halfway stage, it's the 16-year-old Evie Liebvarth who leads the way. You can see her utter glee at being out on the water, and obviously mentioning how much time she's actually spent in Tallinn, Slovenia, and that certainly showed. Novak had led the way, but no shame in being usurped by the teenage American sensation, Evie Liebvarth. Well, impressive from the reigning Pan-American K1 champion, Liebvarth, but can Victoria Us of Ukraine puncture her delight? Can she push for a podium finish?
She touched number 8 before number 7, so when you touch number 8 before 7, you have 50 and 7.
You need to go in sequence.
Yes.
But you could see how she went from green in a good time, gone.
Yeah.
Because of the penalties.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
Very, very brutal.
So she did a mistake on number 5, and she was too low on 7, and she lose a little bit of control, and then she touched number 8. So it's
I
done.
suppose super difficult to try and regain control.
Yeah.
But now in a tough situation of knowing any hope of finishing high up the standings is gone. I guess you just want to try and finish well for a bit of confidence.
Yeah, yes, it's like, it's fair play, you know, like you have to finish 100%, and it's a sport, it's a rule, so if you're doing mistake, just keep going until the finish line.
You can see the reaction, it's so frustrating.
She take the experience. That's it. That's good.
Well, she did manage a podium finish in the World Cup meet here in 2019, but sadly for the World 19, she won't be anywhere near the top 3 after a disastrous run from 5 to 9. A cruel mistress, the waters of Tassen. And certainly Victoria Us won't be the last to suffer her wrath. Well, bringing their little bit of enthusiasm. Some looking a little bit more confused than others. Can be slightly hard to read expressions in this new masked era we find ourselves in. But now for a bit of Brazilian brilliance. At least Ana Satila will hope so. A two-time under-23 world silver medalist and a former K1 junior world champion. She was the youngest to qualify at the London Games at just 15 years old. She's had a stellar career already. Can the 24-year-old find medal glory here in Tassen?
She's a really strong paddler.
The speed
It's
at which
amazing.
she hit that gate is incredible.
She had a really good speed and she started very well.
Because it looks almost like you're not going to be in control, and yet, bang, she's turning and on her way.
That's pretty good. At the moment, I think, yeah.
Well, now we're really seeing the creme de la creme of the women's K1 final.
You can see how strong she is. She's very strong.
The amount of control she then has because of the strength as well as technique gives her a great opportunity as Evie Lebvaart looks on, but it's small
late.
margins, isn't it?
Yeah. A bit late on this second part, but the last part must determine the result, and she is doing well.
Doing all she can to try and push for the podium.
Oh no, she missed the last gate.
Wow, it is.
That's a shame.
She had done so well, and look at the facial expression tells it all.
You see the exit from the up on the left was a little bit short, and the current pushed her, and
by that point it's too late.
Too late.
Well, she must have thought that her place on top was already under threat, and yet Lebvaart certainly lives another day. Delassou looking on after her earlier run in this final, but at the minute it's the American sensation Lebvaart who leads the way, and just 3 paddlers remaining to try and stop her, but frustration for Satila. She couldn't convert what had been up to the end an excellent ride. The desperation to try and recover, but too late.
You can't really fight with the current sometimes, huh?
Only one winner on that occasion. Well, French hopes. Bertrand on the edge of his seat now. Well, can she dust off her shoulders? Will it be thumbs up or down come the end? And off she goes, the world number 9, Camille Prigent. $2020 Euros K1 silver last month, but
did you see that? Like, she was a little bit too high on this up, and she hit the rock, like I said before. The first up, number 4, it's a little bit really close to the bank, so the paddlers need to adjust.
Now she's got 0.69 seconds to make up,
but nothing gets finished right now.
Still a long way to go.
Exactly, and she's doing well at the second part. Let's see this tricky part. Go, go, go.
The K1 Youth Olympic gold medalist. Father Jean-Yves and brother Yves, both world championship medalists.
To second.
But, struggling to get the time back on her side.
Yeah, good up on the right. She kept her speed very well. Ah, she touched number 18, plus 2 seconds.
We've already seen that in the semi-finals, 18 was a real mistress of doom.
She lost a bit of time on the exit of 21 as well. It's going to be hard. Oh!
And somehow, well, look at the smile. She must have thought the penalty and the troubles that she had might have come back to bite her, but
she did some mistake. Yeah, she did some mistake, but still.
But like you say, obviously, it's not just about mistakes you make. It depends on
exactly
the speed and the focus you keep.
The best kayakers is the one who make the less mistake. You know, you can do the perfect run. I mean, you can sometimes.
One can always dream for the magic run, but Camille Prigent didn't need perfection in order to demote Evie Leibfarth into second.
So she has a medal for sure.
Well, that is
third.
Excitement of the trailer.
Third at the moment.
But with 2 still to go, we'll have to wait to see what color she will be taking home.
So a lot of competitors are missing for this World Cup. We can't see the German nation and some other competitor from other country.
Yeah,
so it's a choice with the federation and athletes.
Yeah, the Germans, one of the ones to pull out. Understandably, COVID close on the minds, but Eva Tercel, with the hopes of the nation of Slovenia on her shoulders, the reigning world champion, aiming for home success.
Good start. The middle of this gate.
Well, the world number 4 has only actually had 1 World Cup win at the Segre Olympic Park in Barcelona. That was way back in 2013. But she's struggling to make it a second one here.
She has plus 2 on 7. Number 10, she was fast on 10. The second tricky part here.
At this point, Leibfarth could be back in towards medals, but now you see the split time.
Oh, that's a good line.
She is not giving up on her medal dreams.
The third tricky part. Yeah, that's all right.
How's it looking for the finale?
Go, 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 go.
Prigent looks on nervously, but in the end it's the penalties that come back to bite. And it is away from Camille Prigent. Well, she had some errors. She almost looked like she was going to make up the time, but eventually too much, too late.
Yeah, 2 touches. When you have 2 touches, start to be a little bit hard. to win the final.
A real disappointment on home water. The 28-year-old Tercel unable to find her way.
For determine your penalty, there are some judges on the bank, and they determine if they have +2 or +50 of penalty.
So sometimes you might find that subsequently it's suddenly there's a 50, depending on how they've seen back the footage.
I mean, there are different judges on the gate, and they decide if you have like +2, +50 or nothing.
Well, provisionally, Eva Tercel sitting in bronze medal position, so she could yet take a medal home in her home country. Eva Lebfarth in silver. Well, Camille Prigent is hoping for a golden finish, but the only woman who could stop her is her cousin. So family rivalries really the story here. And she was the fastest in the semi-final, but can she convert that to gold?
I'm sure she can. But it's also the hard position when you start last for the final. You won the semi-final, so you have a lot of pressure, but you have to control that when you are an athlete. And she's doing okay. The first part is a little bit late, but it's okay.
So it could be real heartbreak for Slovenia if Prigent makes the podium. They'd have two just off.
Up, up, up. Yeah.
How aware are you in the boat of your time?
Good.
Do you have any idea that how your time is, or are you just focused on the run?
No, you stay focused only about your line and your project, you know. The time's coming after. Oh, that's a good run at the moment.
Oh,
she's
Bertrand
doing well.
getting excited.
That's pretty cool. Go, 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 up, up, up.
French gold is assured, but will it be which cousin?
Yeah, that's a good run.
Well, she's not just won, she's absolutely smashed it. 1.88,
cool.
Faster than her cousin.
Amazing. It's really good for her.
Well, it might be a reduced field in these COVID times, but still a stunning victory.
Hey, she did a hard work. She won the semi-final, and she also won the final. That's pretty hard.
Well, considering her only senior outing at World Cup level was here in Ljubljana when she finished 19th in the semi-final, but this time converting a semi-final win into gold. Well, not just a France 1-2, but a family 1-2. Romain Prigent just smashing the field, beating her cousin with Eva Lebfarth with a bronze medal. Slovenia heartbreak, Eva Tercel and Aja Novak just missing out. But Prigent,
well, we have a gold
we'll hear
medalist
from her.
here. Probably the best result you've had in your career, yes?
Yeah, I think so. It was like some good race this morning, already in the semi, and now I did it again, so I'm happy, really happy.
Did you feel good on the water? Did you feel like the run was going well?
Not at the top. I was a bit low in the 7, but then at the end I was like, I need to paddle if I want to win, and that's what I did.
And tell me, where have you been for the last couple of years? Now you're coming good, and it's 2020, and you're paddling really, really well.
Yeah, I think I've been training a lot, and now it's paying, but I'm really happy for all the training I did.
Well, congratulations, World Cup gold medalist. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Well, understandable delight. She not only was the quickest, she was actually only one of 3 without a penalty, pace and precision, meaning it's French gold for Romain Pigeon and silver as well.
Yeah, but the penalty is the game, you know. If you touch the gate, it's because your line is not perfect. So it's a good work from Roman. I'm impressed.
And it is the tricolore that will fly highest. 1-2 for France. And Evie Lefard with the bronze. And Romain Pigeon with the biggest result of her career.
Yeah, like I said earlier, she won 1 race during the French selection for the Olympic selection. So she's going up at the moment, so it's a good hope for France.
And also a good sign that hard work and training does pay off, as she mentioned in her interview. Brilliant from Romain Pigeon, 21-year-old, with her golden moment just ahead of her cousin Camille. As we look behind the curtain at the team who are helping to bring you these live pictures from Tassin, and after a stunning women's final, up next the MK1 men's kayak final. So here's the rundown. America kicking things off with Michael Smolin and Joseph Lucas Huero Malo Camino, as well as Ved Kuda Marusik for the hosts. Missed out on the medals, as we see again it's 16, 18, and for the men particularly 19 has clearly been a huge difficulty. 8 penalties acquired over the semi-finals. Here is Smolin, 27-year-old American, a world bronze medalist in 2015. Will kick things off. Hasn't really reached the heights of that 2015 season. 12th at the Rio Games in 2016. Can the 27-year-old put himself in a position for a World Cup medal?
Heading to number 4 now. Good up on the right. On 6.
Smolin finding himself unstuck. Just a little bit of pressure added. But as we've seen, it's not necessarily the end of any hopes.
Yeah, the second section is it's okay at the moment. So only 1 touches.
As you saw in the women's final, penalties were acquired by both silver and bronze medalists, so you'll hope it won't harm him too much. But it's Michael Smolin who sets the time, sub 80 seconds, 79.42.
Yeah.
But he clearly wanted more.
Yes, exactly. The semi-final one with 72.3, so it's going to be not enough.
No frustration, he will stand in the provisional leaders spot, but as you hear from Bertrand, unlikely to be holding that podium place for too long.
And the next one, the other American,
Joshua Joseph, just 19 years of age.
is getting up as well.
And also another who seems to take a shining to Tassen. It's certainly his best finish at a World Cup event, although 11th in his heat. Now a chance to attack the podium. Smolin ranked first, but out first, so likely tough to hold on to it. Making sure hydrated as the competition heats up, and as mentioned, World of 120, Joshua Joseph, 10th place in the Junior World Championships 3 years ago. Another to benefit from the reduced field here. Can he take advantage? Certainly does.
It's really aggressive. But you know, like, you have to control yourself as well. You know, like, if you are too aggressive, sometimes it's hard to keep the line. But sometimes happen, and he's doing well at the moment. Really good start.
Certainly a controlled fury to his ride so far.
Yeah, he stays stuck a little bit on this hole, but not a big deal. He's a bit late right now. Lose a bit of time on this gate. This exit is a bit, yeah.
But showing all the neck muscles working. Well, as you see, 2 penalty points of 16, and it's just
touches.
falling apart. We saw already 16 and 18 have been the most problematic for the field.
Yeah, like I said, you know, like when you start with, and when you are really dynamic and really aggressive, it's difficult to keep the rhythm then.
Unable to maintain that early rhythm, and he knows that is costly. Already second to Smolin, who himself didn't have a good run. So for Team USA, they may be 1-2, but there's very little chance they will be side by side anywhere near the medals. But we'll have to wait and see. It can be a crazy sport. For the moment, Smolin keeps his perch in first place. So Lucas Vero next out for Switzerland, taking his hood and jacket off to focus on the hard work at hand. Bronze medalist in the K1 Team European Championships this year in Prague. Can he take some solo glory?
Good first part at the moment. Good balance with his boat. He keep a good speed. The second tricky part now. Lose a little bit of time on these two gates, but still right. Yeah, good up on the right.
You can see the Americans were both disappointed with their runs, so good chance for Guerrero to set down a marker and hold that first position if he can convert. So far, strong ride. Well, Smolin looked like a man resigned to lose his place, and finally he'll be out.
Yeah, his line
Of the
was
spotlight.
okay, but I think the time is not enough to pretend.
I mean, you obviously see sometimes there might be a little bit of disappointment even from a good run, but often the expression of the athlete is going to give you an idea,
Yes,
certainly what they think.
yes, true. And also you don't have a penalty, and the line it's okay, but it's not enough to win.
In a
So,
sense, playing it, not exactly, but playing a little bit safe because you haven't put the pace in,
yeah.
which means you don't have the penalties, but you've also not made up much time.
But it's a really hard part during the final because you have to take a risk, but not too much. If you take too much risk, you can
You give
doing
yourself
a
no
lot
chance.
of mistakes. But if you don't take enough risk, you
You'll never
can't
medal.
really win. So
Yeah.
it's the thing.
Safe and steady from Guerrero, but the World 25 maybe out in first just now, but unlikely to be finding a way to the podium, especially with the last 5 riders, the paddlers, really some of the top in the world. Well, some more French hope. We've already seen double medal delight for Les Bleus. He'll be hoping to enjoy.
There we go. He's heading to gate number 1.
So certainly not been mallow so far for Canoe.
Ooh, he hit the rock, but it's not a big deal here. Kept his speed.
He's not let it shake him.
No, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I lose a little bit of time on the exit. Stay stuck a little bit on this hole.
Well, he's an athlete that's had golden success in the K1 team events at under 23 and junior level, but looking for a chance to make a splash at senior solo level.
Really good up on the left. Yeah, it's okay. The exit is not that fast, but still alright. Good. This part was pretty good. Good up. Last gate.
Now just the paddle to the finish, and it will be first place
74.
for France. But again, nobody has looked happy with their run.
Yeah, you know, because they know about the time during the semi-final. So Peter Kozer did 72.3. So when you are at the finish line and you have 774, like, you know it's going to be hard.
And particularly with the level of paddler to come,
Yeah,
there's more chance they're going to go sub their semi-final time, potentially.
exactly. And also he knows about his mistake, you know. You know, he stays stuck a little bit on the hole at the first section, so he's not happy with that, you know. You know that.
The regrets of competition.
Yes.
So far, fabulous day for France. 2 medals, gold and silver. Currently, with a Frenchman leading the way in the men's K1 final, but how long he'll be there, we'll find out if Vid Kuder Marusik can put himself in place to be the home hero. Although the hosts with Peter Kozer in their pocket, who will go out last and clear favourite for the gold, but we'll see if there are any shocks and surprises in this men's final.
He's at home, you know well this course, but it's mean nothing. I mean, it's good when you practice here, but it's not everything. But he's doing well at the moment. A little bit behind. Good up on the right. You can see his speed on the exit was pretty good. Yeah, this part pretty fast. Oh, really good up on the left. He's lead now.
Up to the second split time, he's really made up some time. Still tight.
The third tricky partner, any touch. This part is really difficult. It's really determining for the final.
Yeah, it's not a great surprise that the vast majority, if not all, the penalties are coming in that little section between 16 and 18.
He's second with +2.
Which with that penalty is why he'll be so frustrated. Canoe remaining in first, but we're yet to see a paddler look satisfied with their performance. Certainly saw a little bit more joy in the women's final, yet to find such contentment in the men's final. But at the halfway stage, it is France who lead with Malo Canoe, but it will be the final 5, you feel, that will be battling for the podium. So the halfway stage, France with a man out front.
Yes, we're ready to go.
The final 5, as you hear, we're ready to go.
Well, we're at the halfway stage.
And it's
Marlo, you are leading. How did you feel your run went?
It's a good run, but a big mistake at the middle of the course. So I think it's too short to have a medal today, but I'm really happy to make a final today.
The water levels are a bit lower today. Does that make it harder or easier?
Easier, I think. So yesterday the level was big, and the time was not too tight. So today is very tight.
All right, we have 5 more finalists to go, so keep the fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
well, fingers crossed, but he doesn't look like he's anticipating a medal position, but you never know. But as he said there, Bertrand, you were right that he happy enough with the time per se, but he feels like a little bit of regret.
Yeah, exactly. He knows that he could be faster. He can be faster. So he's unhappy with that, but
still at a World Cup level,
yes,
at World 53, it's better to be there, to be knocked down, than not there at all. So France, with some medal hope, even if feels like it won't necessarily be for Canoe, but still with Simon N hoping at least a medal.
Tassen, it's a really challenging course, and it's really popular on the kayaking world, and especially the first drop actually. So there isn't the first drop for this race because of the flow, but still a really hard course.
Well, the popular Pedro Gonçalves gets his challenge underway.
Oh, that was really fast.
The poster boy of Brazilian canoeing certainly
Keeps the control of his boat. Really good start.
really aggressive and
That it's
really
a
pushing
good
himself.
second part, yeah. He stuck a little bit on the hole, but not a big deal, and the up after that was pretty good.
I guess if you get yourself into trouble, you can minimize how much that takes from you
Yes,
by how you react.
but still, he's still very good at this
Well,
part of the
nearly
course.
2 seconds up. But now we're getting to the trickier section.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's fast. He's fast.
Thrilling out of the boats.
Ah,
but it's,
Touch the last two
Oh,
gates.
is it just he lost a little bit control coming in?
Yeah, I think it just because he was a little bit low,
Well,
but it's still, yeah.
finally some delight, some excitement as Pedro Gonçalves pushes himself top of the tree. Whether it'll be quick enough, we'll wait and see. But look at that,
Yeah, I
a
think
joyful man.
he can be happy about his run, but he touched the last hop, so
Could be the
It's-
difference between gold
Yeah.
or
yeah,
a
exactly,
medal at all.
exactly. But 4 paddlers left, so
certainly an exhilarating run from the World 39. Pedro Gonçalves, known as Pepe.
it could be a medal, but let's see.
We're now at crunch o'clock. Who's going to take a bite out of Tassen for a medal? Just 4 paddlers remain, but for now it's Gonçalves who sits pretty on top.
Did you see like the current push his boat up and he touched the gate with his boat?
As opposed to him, it wasn't his position, it's the way the boat obviously.
Yeah, exactly, but when you're a kayaker, you have to control anything. So you control with your posture or with your line, but
Imagine any weight, how you disperse your weight.
exactly, your ages and stuff.
Well, we'll see if Jakub Krise can manage to avoid any penalties, but as we said, it's the speed as well than just going clean. 18 years of age, the world 77 takes on his challenge, one of the highest, or lowest ranked, should say, competitors in this final. What an opportunity for the teenager.
Yeah, he's from a really strong nation, Czech Republic, one of the best in the world. And
Well, a junior European K1 bronze medalist.
first part is a little bit behind. Good up on the left. He's a little bit late. 2.4 seconds.
We can see the difference between the semi-final results. Obviously, Cresci going quicker than Gonçalves, but when it's mattered, it's the Brazilian at the minute who has plenty of time in hand.
A little bit too deep on this last, up on the left.
Look at the excitement. I mean, it's just infectious. The emotions of Gonçalves contrasted with the devastation for the teenager. But let's hear from the Brazilian. Well, unfortunately not getting to hear from the brilliant Brazilian, but he is certainly a man who enjoys every moment of life. Pedro Pepe Gonçalves leads the way, 0.45 seconds faster than Frenchman Canoe, and Slovenia currently with Kuda Marusic in the bronze medal position. But with 3 paddlers to come, the podium is yet to be confirmed. But you can see some positioning advice. Make sure you're in between the fingers to avoid the penalty pain. Isaac Borstrom, the thumbs up. The 29-year-old underway, and we're really now at crunch time to see who will take home World Cup medals. I certainly said there was a lot of rain yesterday, the higher waters, lower today, but it may be slightly easier, as Commander said, but as we've seen, it's the latter part that's really been the deciding factor.
His line at the moment, it's okay. It just, he's a little bit less aggressive than Pedro, but still a good line, and
still in contention, but
exactly. And this section is the most important section right now.
I suppose when you're a bit more careful than speed, you really can't afford a penalty because you've not got the speed to make up for it.
You control everything, but it's also the risk because you have to take a maximum risk to win. And I think it's a good time.
Oh, it is 0.93. Well,
it's a really good run.
As you said, he took more care, but he didn't sacrifice the pace to put himself on top of the tree. And brilliant reaction and respect from Gonçalves for a terrific run. The Brazilian more aggressive, but Ostrom more clinical.
So for sure, Isaac will be a medal.
But what colour will it be? Well, the first Swede to compete at an Olympic Games in Brazil 2016. He's outmaneuvered the poster boy for the Rio Games. A medal will be his, but will it be gold, silver or bronze? Certainly his reaction after this run shows he'll be delighted to know at least but he's on the podium.
He did a good job, huh?
Superb, because particularly as you say, the different choice in terms of how to attack it.
Yeah.
But it paid off because he didn't sacrifice all the pace.
Exactly. But he did a good run.
But you see that obviously a penalty would have been curtains.
Yeah. But he was in the middle of the gate and his boat was really really with a good balance, and it was good to watch.
Yeah, contrasting styles always keeps the sport interesting, but how will Simonen do? Second fastest in that semi-final. Now he knows what he has to do to try.
Good start, a little bit more aggressive right now. But it's his style, you know. Everybody have different style. First part, it's okay. A little bit late on these two gates, but still all right. Yeah, good on this tricky part.
Well, the world number 75, one of the lowest ranked in the field, and yet keeping himself in contention as France look for more medal success here in Tassen.
Yeah. A little bit tight, a little bit late, but it's a good rescue. And he touched the last up.
Just as Gonçalves did before. Top of the boat.
Not enough.
And that is real disappointment. It was looking so good for Simonen, but in the end, nowhere near the podium.
So at the moment, Isaac first, second, Pepe.
And France still with a hope of a medal, but that is going to be tough to convert because the last to go might be the oldest in the field, but he's also the world number 4. As we look back at Simonen, who couldn't convert a strong first half of his race, and sadly dropping down to ranked 7th. Just checking messages, seeing if maybe people asking if they can get a picture of the main man here. 37 years of age, but my lord, looking at his record, 2 times K1 World Golds in 09 and 11, 6 goals at European Championships, twice the K1 Men's Champion, and a 3-time overall World Cup title winner.
One of the best kayaker in the world, and he's at home as well.
And looks supremely confident as he attacks his home ride here in Tassen. Is he a kind of paddler who's going to get flustered? You think with all his experience?
Yeah, he have a lot of experiences. It's like he's really strong, and he's on the top of the kayaker in the world since like 12 years old. 12 years, sorry.
Well, Rio was his 3rd games. He's looking forward to a 4th appearance. Maybe try and improve on the silver medal he won in Rio, just pipped by Joe Clark of Great Britain. That shows this is the main man, but can he convert?
Oh, he's behind.
And somehow, a shake of the head, it shows that nothing is a certain, and it is a silver, and a stunning result.
Yeah, you saw. I don't know if he took enough risk during this race, but he decided doing that. So
in the end, maybe a little too conservative. But in the end, it's a stunning victory for Sweden. Isaac Ostrom Well, you saw his delight with his run. He must have known he was in the chance of a medal, but with Peter Kozer still to go, must have thought it was a likely silver. Instead, it's a golden moment for Sweden as Ostrom takes the gold ahead of the world number 4 silver Olympic medalist and home favourite Peter Kozer.
Well, Isaac Ostrom, we believe you've made some history today. Not only Sweden's first medal, but a gold medal. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
How does it feel?
It feels amazing, yeah. I was really happy to be in the final. It was 4 years since last time on this course as well. And yeah, to put in a good run was really nice.
What's it been like this year? It's been such a hard year for training, for staying in shape. What's it been like for you?
For me, I think I've been very lucky because I'm staying in Slovakia, in Bratislava. And we've had very small amount of COVID. And it's been possible to train almost all the time. It's been some lockdowns, but not that severe. And it's been more safe. In Sweden, in the beginning of the year, it was really bad. So I was staying in Slovakia. So it was the longest time I've never been in Sweden for. So
Well,
yeah.
you're now a gold medalist. Congratulations, Isaac. Enjoy
Thank you
it.
very much.
Stay there, Steve.
Well, a stunning performance. He was the first Swede at an Olympic Games, and now not only their first medalist at a World Cup event, but a golden moment ahead of Peter Kozer, who just pipped by half a second Pedro Gonçalves, the Brazilian, taking the bronze. Well, a stunning conclusion to the men's race. Gonçalves was the most aggressive in taking a bronze in the end. The rest of the field, particularly the first 5, not so delighted with their runs. A little bit of regret, but top level World Cup, a first for many of them. But overall, your reaction, Bertrand, to Swedish success?
That's pretty amazing for him. He did a really good run. The line was almost perfect. So that's pretty good. Good for
And
him.
you can see how good it feels. And there was nothing the rest of the field could do. Simonen faded badly to
So
fall
you-
out of contention.
You see the time in 73.3 for the winner. And during the semi-final it was 72. So sometimes, you know, you have a little bit more pressure or stuff.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with more from the weekend here in Tassen. But for now, from me and Bertrand, goodbye.